Hi guys, let's take a look at the top 20 rookies per game value over the last 2 weeks. Give you an idea how some of these young guys are performing. A couple of surprising names that are ranked perhaps higher than what you might expect. At number 1 in the top 20 rookies is Ayton, the number 22 overall player over the last 2 weeks, averaging 31 minutes, which is an improvement on what he'd been doing previously. 20 points and 14 rebounds is obviously fantastic. Only a block per game, that's still somewhat negative on his part, but 61% from the field and 81% from the line. They are huge, huge numbers. His rebounding and his field goal percentage are his biggest fantasy contributions. If he can get those blocks up to 1.5, 1.7, you're talking top 20, top 15 type of numbers. That appears like it's a long way off at the moment, but Ayton should be a consistent top 50 guy for a while. I do have my doubts about his upside, just in case the Suns ever get good in the next 3 to 4 seasons. Will his lack of defense limit his overall minutes? Say someone like a Hassan Whiteside, who does get limited, in terms of playing time, a guy that was able to provide pretty good defense, but has bouts of laziness and lack of concentration. If that happens to Ayton, does he, instead of being a consistent 30-minute a night guy in a playoff team, go down to a 25-minute a night guy? And that's my only concern with him long term. Number 2 with the rookies is the number 49 overall player, Luka Doncic, who's averaging 23, 6.5, and 7 with 1.4 steals. His efficiency, in contrast to Ayton, is what's keeping him down. 44 and 71% from the field and from the line, 34% from 3. If those numbers were up at the 46 and 80 mark, and he was an 80% free throw shooter in Europe, that's not the right word, in EuroLeague or in Europe, one of those two, Josh, he would be much higher than this, and he is going to be a consistent top 25, top 20 fantasy player for the next 8 to 10 years, would be my guess. Still room for improvement in that free throw percentage and the efficiency. The other numbers they already look fantastic, and no reason he can't be a 25, 26 point per game guy with 3 triple 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.6 steals. Like that's a peak number for him, which would look excellent on good efficiency. The number 3 rookie, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., number 71 overall. Only 27 minutes a night and only 1.7 blocks, which for him is low, but 14 and 6. 52%. He is going to be, again, a consistent top 25 guy over the course of his career. Probably won't get there this season, but in 30 minutes a night, if he stays out of foul trouble, he'll be a pretty good, a pretty solid top 50 guy. The next couple of players are 2 guys who I don't think that many people would expect to be this high. They're obviously available in a lot of leagues. 85% available for Mikal Bridges and 87% available for Kevin Huerter. Bridges is the 4th ranked rookie, the number 78 ranked player overall over the last 2 weeks. 6 games, 33 minutes, only 8 points, but it's 2 steals, 0.8 blocks, 1.2 threes, which is getting his numbers up. The biggest contribution he's giving us are his steal numbers, and that's the appeal of Mikal Bridges as a fantasy guy, is the 111 potential, even the 1.5 potential. Maybe blocks at 1.5 is a little bit high, and if you can add some usage of only 10% at the moment, and get that scoring up, he could be a top 50 player in the next couple of seasons. For now, he's on the borderline. He's not helping you in points. He's like a Kyle Anderson type of player, and he probably is a spot for him in 12-team leagues. Even with Kelly Oubre arriving, he's getting 30 minutes a night. He is up and down, and it is really hinging on those steal numbers, but the minutes are encouraging. While Kevin Huerter, 33 minutes a night, 13 points, 2 assists, 1.2 steals, shooting well, 49 from the field, 88 from the line, and 45 from 3. So that will come down, I imagine, a bit. But I also think his assist numbers at 1.8 will rise, and the rebounds will rise, and he should be in and around that top 100 mark for most of the season, and I believe he is a must-roster player. The number 6 overall rookie, number 98 overall, Trae Young of those same Atlanta Hawks, averaging 15, 3, and 7, shooting a little bit better, 41 from the field and 26% from 3. That's still terrible, but it's an increase on where he was before. He is a must-roster player, and I do think his field goal percentage will continue to get better this season, while the number 7 overall rookie is Rowdy Rodion's-Kurucs, the number 104 overall player, 13 points in 26 minutes, 4 rebounds, 0.7 steals, and 0.7 blocks, but he is benefiting from a really sharp shooting, 53% from the field, which will dip somewhat. Of course, the return of Alan Crabb could put a cramp in Kurucs' value, but I'll throw this out there to you. Do you think that he is a better player currently than Damari Carroll? Is he a better player currently than Rondé Hollis-Jefferson? Is he a better player currently than Alan Crabb? Now, he doesn't have to be a better player than all 3 of those guys, but I think you could easily make the argument that he could be a better player than all of those individually, and at least is better than at least one of them right now. Kenny Atkinson wouldn't commit to saying that he would start when Alan Crabb returned, but the fact that he didn't outright rule it out means that he wants to start him over Crabb, in my opinion. And he is someone to keep an eye on. He's a 14-team must-add Kourouks. I think he's going to be a consistent top 100 guy in the future. And look, there's a real chance he can be a top 120, top 130 guy the rest of the way here. The next rookie we look at, who is the number 8 overall, the Fort, Kevin Knox, 113th, and he's averaging almost 20 points and 2.6 triples. They're big numbers. He just is a negative in every other category. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.6 steals, 0.4 blocks, 44 and 73. He's more of a benefit to people playing in points leagues who just bludgeon volume through the points. In categories, he does have those lacks, but still, lacking in those areas, he's still able to put up top 120 value, which makes him a 12-team league guy. The 9th ranked player is the Rock DJ Robbie Williams of the Boston Celtics. Only 14 minutes a night, and it's coming off the back of 2 categories, 2.7 blocks and 80% from the field. But with Horford back in action, Williams was a DNP CD on Christmas Day, so it doesn't matter that Aaron Baines is out. There's no reason to have him in 12-team leagues. Daniel Tice will take that backup role. There'll be games that Williams comes in and plays, no doubt, but it's not going to be consistent enough to consider him a must-roster player. And the number 10 overall rookie is Marvin Bagley, 137th overall. He's only played 2 games in this time and only 16 minutes there, shooting 86 and 90% from the field. They're unrealistic numbers. I think he is a 12-team league guy, and when he is ready to return, I'd grab him if he was on your wire. The number 11 guy is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 28 minutes, 10 points, almost 3 assists and 0.8 steals. His field goal percentage is high, but it's been high pretty much all season, 57% from the field in the last 6 games, and the block numbers at 0.5, they've been higher for most of the year as well. I do think that he is a 12-team league guy, but for example, I would have Kourouks, and actually no, try again. I would have Huerta over him. I would have Trae Young over him pretty clearly. I would have Knox over him. I would have Bagley over him. Just going by rookies here. McCall, Bridges, and Kourouks are a real toss-up to me. And it would depend on how my team looks. But I still do believe in Shai, but he's faltering a little bit at the moment. The number 12 overall rookie is DeAnthony Melton in 21 minutes a night. He's the 172nd ranked overall player, 12th in rookies, and he's averaging 3.7 points. That just shows you how much these other categories are carrying him. Mainly steals, 1.8 steals with 2.8 assists. Think of a worse Marcus Smart as steals and assist stream. I had high hopes that they'd play him 26, 27 minutes, but with Booker back, with Oubre arriving, he is the guy that's lost those minutes. Jamal Crawford's inexplicably getting more playing time than Melton, and it's hard to hold him in 12-team formats. At number 13 is Devontae Graham of the Charlotte Hornets. He's only played 2 games, but he's averaged 5.5 assists in those 14 minutes per game, and he shot the ball well. He's not an every-night player, but this gives me encouragement for him when Tony Parker is gone, that he slides into that backup point guard role, and he can be a JJ Barea-type backup point guard, a Patrick Beverley guy from in the past, a guy that in 26 minutes or so, 22 minutes or so, can even impact 12-team leagues. So he's been impressive over those last couple of games. Number 14 is Landry Shamet, the 202nd ranked player overall, one of the best 3-point streamers out there, 2.1 triples per game in the last 7 games in only 19 minutes. He doesn't do anything else really, 9 points, 1.6 rebounds, but a constant source of efficient threes can be really useful. Number 15 in the rookies is Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets, 209th overall, 20 minutes, 6 and 4 with 0.7 steals and 0.7 blocks. He is a 1-1 specialist like the other Bridges, averaging 0.8, 0.7 and 0.7 in threes, steals and blocks in only 20 minutes. His path to becoming a starter this year is limited, and it's only going to come with an injury to someone like Nick Batum. You've got Kid Gilchrist, Marvin Williams and Batum all ahead of him at the moment, but he looks to be clearly ahead of Dwayne Bacon, and I do like Bridges' long-term upside. At 16 is Harry Giles of the Sacramento Kings, 228th overall, only 2 games. He's averaged 8.5 points there with 1.5 steals, but he's not a regular member of the rotation, and I don't think that he is going to necessarily become one, so I wouldn't be stashing him in 12 or 14 or 16 team leagues, maybe deeper ones and of course dynasties, but I'm not as high on him in dynasty as what some other people may be. Number 17. Baby Shark, Bruce Brown of the Detroit Pistons, 17 minutes a game, only 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, but he's blocking 1.2 shots. He had a little run of 16-team relevancy. That has faded off with the return of Luke Kennard and the impending return of the little dog Glenn Robinson and Reggie Bullock back as well. He's shown enough to me, though, Brown, to think he's a rotation guy, and I like his assist, steals, Marcus Smart type upside. Wendell Carter Jr. is your next rookie, number 18 overall in the rookies, 248th. He is struggling, only 21 minutes, 8 and 5 with a block, 50% from the field, and it's all coming down to fouls, which is really limiting his playing time. I think that if you are struggling in the standings, it is hard to hold on to Wendell Carter with how he's being utilised by his coach, and also how he can't stay out of foul trouble, and that's again on him and on the coach as well. But I do believe he's going to be a top 100 player this season. It's just going to take a little bit to get there. At number 19 is Josh Okogie of the Minnesota Timberwolves, 256 overall. He's averaging 20 minutes a game. He's getting extra playing time with Jeff Teague out, and that's helping his numbers. But he's not doing enough to really consider him an every team or even a 20-team league guy, to be honest, because when Teague comes back, I don't think he's going to be in the rotation. And the last rookie we talk about, number 20, 257 overall, is Jalen the Burner Brunson. 25 minutes, 9 points, 2 assists, 42% from the field. He's getting minutes because Dennis Smith Jr. is out, and when Smith returns, I don't think Brunson's going to be in the rotation, but another guy who I think they're grooming to be a replacement for JJ Barea down the line, who could be a top 200 player if all things move in the right direction for him. That does it, the top 20 rookies over the last 2 weeks.